Hello, Froggy here, and today I'll be sharing some tower rubes with you. I don't do out of maps in the tower too often because they're all a bit annoying. You don't really get any sort of abilities in the tower, except for one. There are, well, I guess two. There are two different buffs that will increase your jump height. Every time you do the tree business, you'll get a boost, and if you're at rank 11, that is always available. And of course, there is the classic lava challenge, which coincidentally is a lot easier if you have the other buff active. You can touch the ground in this challenge, just not for very long, so if you jump as soon as you hit the ground, you can ignore most of the parkouring, especially if you already have the Guardian Rising buff. You'll lose quickness after dying, so it is less permanent than Guardian Rising, which will just come back. But for the first out of map, we won't actually be using either of those. In fact, more jump height would be kind of detrimental. You can always orbit and relaunch to get rid of the Guardian Rising buff if you've got it. Unfortunately, there's no hangar fast travel point. Luckily, since I am not doing trials too often, that does not bother me much, but maybe someday they'll add one. I'm going to be climbing up on this thing behind where Saint hangs out. You can do it on the other ones, but this one has bonus lore. Anyways, you'll want to crouch over to this and then jump up to the top. It can be a bit tricky, but luckily there's a safety net if you fall. I'll go ahead and play that because I'm sure I will get questions about it.
Fly Girl, the story of Amanda Holliday. Is this someone is writing a biography? I'd keep it out of sight too if I were them.
Try that jump again.
This chapter talks about how she was born on the road outside the city, how she lost her family to the Fallen.
And there we
I
go.
even know some of this stuff.
From here you can just make your way across. You can't go to the very top though because of the map ceiling. You'll just get turnbacks. At the end you want to jump across the gap and avoid the danger hole. I have failed to avoid the danger hole because I fell into it early enough. I did not get perma-stuck. If you fall in there a bit further on, you'll be pretty much forced to fast travel out. Anyways, on the far left end here, you can jump across the whole section, although the jumps can be a little bit finicky. And from here, I'm not really sure if there's anywhere you can quite manage to go, but at least you get a nice view of where we'll be heading next. You might be able to get somewhere from here with the various jump buffs, but getting here with the buffs is harder than getting here without them. But yeah, with the buffs, maybe you'd be able to make it onto the doorway across. You definitely can't really get close without them. Let's see about getting to that other side now. I do like to use the jump boosts for this one, although I don't think they're necessary. There are also multiple paths to go by here. For the fan route, you may need to occasionally back up to give yourself speed to get on top of these pillars. You can also jump across them if you get the timing right. If you edge to the right here, jump out to the side, you can get on top of the ceiling, and from here it isn't too bad to stumble into the load zone, although there are some, I guess, pits to look out for. Also, if you jump in this area, you will hit a kill barrier and die. See to this side here, although I fell off. That is the alternate route that you can take if you manage to slide onto the air vents back where I had jumped up by the Cade statue. See, I hit the hangar load. And see if I can just jump back up top. Now, if you die to the load, you end up having to do the whole thing again. Alas. That isn't even generally the direction I have trouble with. It is sometimes hard to avoid dying to loads out of map in the tower zone transitions. There are, I believe, 4 of them? Although with how it displays other people in the instance, it can be kind of hard to track that if you aren't out of map to pick up on when they change. Alright, let's see if I can just get back into the hangar. Welp. Let's give that one more go. Okay, let's jump again, and hopefully I will manage to not die to the load this time. Well, that didn't work, but it didn't fail, so we've got that going for us, which is nice. Ah, there we go. And see the area that we were at before. And if we go to the left, there's all sorts of fun little areas you can duck into, like this is where the future war cult used to be. Be in the you can just kind of hang out in the walls there. And not sure if we can get around anything to the side, but those invisible platforms leave me very suspicious. Yeah, I got some catwalks over here. I am kind of surprised you can stand on. Oh, hello. What have we over here? Alright then, I guess keep on welding that air. Not sure if those guys are visible doing whatever they're doing at any other angle, but yeah, who knows. Not sure if we can jump over to where I was previously from here. Perhaps with both of the jump boosts it might be possible. For this last OOB that I'll be showing you, I'm pretty sure you don't need the buff, but it definitely makes it much more convenient, so I'm going to go ahead and grab it, and if you want to try without, I will leave it as an exercise for the viewer. You'll be heading over to the Bazaar area. You can fast travel to the Annex if you want, but it's not that far of a walk.
You're not going to find a better deal.
For this, you're going to want to jump up on the side. There's a bunch of weird sort of invisible walls that get in the way, so you're going to want to jump over some of them and not fall here, because if you fall here, you are very stuck. You need to go on just a bit to the right of that air conditioning unit, or at least to the right of the center of it. Looks like I have to fast travel to the Annex anyways. Alas. We didn't always have this section of the tower. I think it showed up during Season of the Drifter, when the Drifter was moved to a more large area, I guess. Used to be where Zur is now. You can make it from this side, but I'm just gonna go back to how I had been trying. And yeah, with the jump boost, you can definitely make it over. Yeah, this one does act very strangely sometimes. I'm not sure the exact shape of all these barriers. It's one of those that is either very easy to hit or will give you trouble for a bit. Oh yeah, you can just... forgot you can just walk over to this side.
I think this used to be a terminal used by Eris Morn. Lots of notes in here about the Hive, their Prince Crota, the Taken King, Oryx. Huh. I wonder where she went off to.
And we never heard from her again. Alright. Oh, there we go. That's what you want to see. So this next load can be kind of tricky to hit. When I don't have the buff, I'll generally jump into it, though with the buff you jump a bit high for that. I'm going to try to drop down and walk down the staircase next to the load. That generally has worked for me. But I guess not this time. Alas. Back to the Annex. Oh, hey, you can climb on that little thing. Hello, Archie. I'm very glad they moved the dog to the tower. That was going to be sad if that were no longer accessible. Let's see if we can get this a bit smoother this time. Hey, there we go. Wonder if I can make it over to that platform. Well, that seemed to hit the load cleanly, so I guess that works. I've always found it weird how you can see people in the other zones of the tower. It's like it has a giant hub. And no more sky welders. I don't think you can get on top of the secret room because of how the walls are set up, but you might be able to get to the side of the Ada 1 area. I've not been able to do it, perhaps with both the buffs, but you can almost make it around the side of this room to something you can stand on. You have to jump from over here if you want to give that a try. We might need to have both buffs stacked. You can see that I almost make it to the top of that door there. And yeah, perhaps with both buffs you could see how far that way you can get. Huh. Thought I jumped up that way before. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the stairs. Anyways, I hope you have fun with these next time you're stuck in the tower, and happy exploring.